earn. It also helps you earn badges. IBM digital badges are verified proof of your achievements. They are recognized, respected, and valued in the IT industry. And they can also be included in your CV and shared on social media. With this platform, you can also innovate as it gives you inspiration on how to build different solutions. It provides the foundation of the design thinking process. Some of you might have attended the webinar on this. And it also helps you build innovative solutions using the free IBM Cloud Light services. Finally, at the end of the day, our platform also helps you find jobs with the help of our Job Advisor tool, which is powered by IBM Watson technology. It helps you match the job offers that are relevant to your skills, and it also helps you perform the skill gap analysis and advises you on the available courses on our platform to fill that gap. I will now be switching to my browser to show you the platform and walk you through some aspects of it. Also, you can if you can also type in the chat if this is if you know about this platform and if you've heard about it, if you use it, or if this is the first time you're hearing about it. All right. You can see the landing page on my screen, and it shows the goals that I have just described. Uh, Learn, earn badges, innovate, and find jobs. These are also links that actually lead to a relevant section on the website. If you if you scroll down, you can also see the three main journeys of IBM Digital Nation platform: Explorer, Innovator, and Newcomer. The focus of today's webinar is the Innovator section. So we will proceed to the Innovator section. Innovator consists of three tabs: Get Inspired, which provides a series of inspirational ideas and stories; a Design section, which provides design stories and design thinking course; and finally a Build section, which actually provides the Innovator courses. There are several learning paths, but today we will be focusing on getting started with containers and Kubernetes learning paths. There are obviously other learning paths that may interest you. You can check them out or attend the upcoming webinars based on these learning paths, or watch the recordings of the previous ones. Now, back to the presentation. What are containers? Containers are a standard way to package apps and other dependencies, such as libraries, modules, etc., everything that that app needs to work. So that you can seamlessly move the apps between environments. Containers, in that regard, are often compared to virtual machines. However, unlike virtual machines, containers do not bundle the operating system and are more lightweight, portable, and efficient than virtual machines. The distinction between containers and virtual machines will be better explained in the next slide. On the left side of the slide, you can see how containers operate. As a foundation, you have the infrastructure, which might as well be your computer, a host operating system, and again, it can be an OS of your computer, and Docker, or any other containerization software. Docker serves as a manager for your containers. And as you can see, all the apps over here, and there are 6 of them, stand solidly on one foundation. On the other side of the screen, you have virtual machines. You have the infrastructure, which in this case combines both hardware and OS. And however, this is where the similarities end. To manage virtual machines, you need to have a hypervisor, sort of a virtual machine monitor, and it allows you to host multiple virtual machines with each VM containing its own OS and an instance of an app. As you can see, virtual machines consume more resources and memory and host a separate OS for each app. Containers, on the other hand, avoid using guest OS and instead rely only on limited number of OS functions to operate. This way, it is easier to migrate containers between the environments. All you need to do is install a container management system to interact with these containers on an OS where you want to migrate your container to. Container tools are generally split in two categories: tools to create containers and systems to orchestrate them. The example of containerization tools are Docker and Containers, which are both supported by IBM Cloud. Example of container orchestration systems are Docker Swarm and Kubernetes. The two tools we will be discussing today are Docker and Kubernetes. What are they? Well, Docker is a set of containerization tools that was first released in 2013. It provides and operates with a friendly user interface to build, ship, and run containers on any environment. And by friendly, I mean that it is actually extremely friendly. You not only have it doesn't only provide the CLI to operate in, but it also has a pretty easy UI to navigate if you install it. The Docker has led a massive adoption of containers in development and operations. Kubernetes is a container orchestration platform for provisioning, managing, and scaling applications. The key paradigm of Kubernetes is a declarative model. What does that mean? That means that the user provides the desired state of the containers, and Kubernetes will do its best to make it happen. Kubernetes is favored by IBM Cloud, and we actually have an IBM Cloud Kubernetes service. It's a managed container service for the rapid delivery of applications that can bind to advanced services like IBM Watson and blockchain. The Kubernetes service also has advanced capabilities around simplified cluster management, container security, and isolation policies. IBM Cloud Kubernetes service provides the following features. It allows you to schedule your microservices in apps and apps in terms of access to computational resources. It allows you to heal in terms of fixing the errors with your deployment. It also has a feature of service discovery. If you have many microservices for your app and they're spread around different containers, IBM Cloud Kubernetes service allows you to find those services and bring them together. It also offers load balancing, and in other words, network traffic control, and it also has configuration management. Well, for those of you who have attended the Design Thinking webinar, you may remember the concept of persona. Persona is a fictional character with specific pain points and goals that they want to achieve. The persona of our webinar for today is Rehema. Sorry if I'm butchering the name. Rehema is a 22-year-old computer science graduate from Kenya. She's currently actively searching for a job and wants to keep up with the latest technological trends. She is aware about the containers and container orchestration, but she never got to experience working with them. Her only exposure to this topic was purely theoretical, and she decided to fill that gap. That led her to a continuous and Kubernetes learning path on IBM Digital Nation. There are five high-level steps of our demo, which are logging into IBM Cloud, creating a Kubernetes cluster, configuring the application that we will deploy, containerizing that application, and finally, we will deploy that cluster. In the interest of time, the entire demo has already been pre-configured. I will still go over these steps and the web pages to familiarize you with the process. However, we will also need to go through some prerequisites. We will need to log into IBM Cloud and create a cluster. We will need to obtain an open movie database API key, and you will also need to download the application. All these links will be provided while I'll be going through the steps in the browser. The application we will be deploying is a React-based application which uses Open Movie Database API, which is sort of an IMDb, but it's available and it's open source. In addition to that, you will need to have 4 tools installed, the links for which you can access to this presentation, or you will see in the chat. And these tools are Node.js, Docker, Kubernetes command line tools, and IBM Cloud CLI. Please note that you don't need to install Kubernetes command line tools separately, because there is an option to install them from Docker. But you will also need to register on Docker to be able to download it. With that being said, I will be switching now to my browser. Please tell me if you have trouble seeing any screen, or if you have any questions, if you're confused, because there will be a lot of tabs that I need to go over. Okay, so first things first, we log into IBM Cloud, and we're immediately taken to the dashboard. Proceed to the top left navigation menu, click on it, and select Kubernetes, which will lead us to the IBM Cloud Kubernetes service. As you can see, I already have created a cluster, but I can still lead you through the steps. To create a cluster, click on the Create Cluster button, and it will take you to the following screen. Now, it's important to note that in order to use the free cluster, you will need to upgrade your IBM Cloud account. And in order to do so, you will need to provide payment details. Don't worry, you will still be able to use all the free services, and the cluster that you will create will still be free. You will not be charged anything unless you explicitly permit to do so. Well, what we need to do over here in the create a new cluster page is that we need to select a free cluster which has one worker node, as in one machine, to run your containerized application. And you need to provide a unique name for your cluster and the location, as in the continent and the city. You will be once you provided all the information and you proceeded with the creation, you will be taken to the cluster overview page with the overview of your resources, and it will also show you the status of your cluster. If it's deployed, it will show normal. Now, to proceed to our second prerequisite, what we need to make our app work properly is an Open Movie Database API key. Please go to the omdpapi.com or click the link that you see in the chat and select the API key page at the top navigation bar. You will be taken to this page. Uh, Select a free account type and provide your email and your credentials. Your key should arrive your key should arrive in 5 minutes. Finally, go to the link that you have in the chat, uh, the GitHub link, to download the application, unzip it, and go to its folder. All right, if you don't see my browser, please tell me right away. In the application folder, click the SRC folder and click and go to the Actions folder. In that folder, you can see the index.js file. Open it with the code editor of your choice, or if you don't have any, you can also open it in Notepad. In this file, you need to find line 42, or you need to find this URL and put your the API key that you received from your email, and put it after the equal sign and before the and sign. And this should conclude the configuration of your app. One last preparation that we must do. As you remember, I told you that Kubernetes command line tools can be installed from the Docker itself. To do that, you need to find your Docker icon. In Windows, it's going to be in the bottom right part of the taskbar. Do the right mouse click and select Settings. The following window will appear. You need to select Kubernetes and tick the mark near Enable Kubernetes. If this is the first time you do that, it will prompt you to install the required Kubernetes tools. And once they're installed, you will see Kubernetes is running at the bottom left side of the window. Now, at this point, you have completed all the preliminary work to enable the containerization and deployment of that container. And that means I'm going back to the presentation. And like I said, the floor is open to the questions. Ask them in the chat or unmute yourself, especially in the next slide, because there will be a lot of information to process, and because I can't show everything in the interest of time, and I'll try my best to answer all of your questions. Finally, this slide looks, I know it looks intimidating, but trust me, it's you want to see, I will try my best to explain to you, and in the end, the result is completely worth it. There are 15 commands that you need to go through, and these are the commands you need to do if you're doing this for the first time. Actually, or when you deploy your second or third container, you won't need to do to repeat some of these steps. So our first command is cd, which stands for change directory. Oh, by the way, you need to do all of this in your operating system's command line interface. In Windows, that would be command prompt or PowerShell. In Mac OS or Unix systems, that would be a terminal. All right. So the first command that you need to do is cd. This command is used to navigate your directory in the command line interface. With what you need to do is that you need to navigate to the folder where you have unzipped your application, and you need to open the applications folder. Once there, you need to use a docker build command. and provide two parameters: the name of the Docker image that you will create, and the path uh, to the applications folder. Since we're already in the folder, you don't need to provide a path. All you need to do is put a dot or a period, which will signify that we're in the current folder. Finally, you use a docker create command, and it will create a Docker container out of that image. And this is when we're done with the Docker commands. Now what we need to do is to log into IBM Cloud. You do that by using IBM Cloud login command. What you need to do is to provide your email address and to provide your password. Please note that you will not see your password while you type it in the CLI, so be careful when you enter it. Commands 5 and 6 are for installing plugins for your IBM Cloud CLI, and those plugins are Container Registry and Kubernetes Service. Kubernetes Service is to manage your Kubernetes cluster in IBM Cloud, and Container Registry is sort of a database, a storage for all the containers you have created, and that storage is available in IBM Cloud specifically for you. Command number 7 downloads the cluster configuration files to a designated directory. And it's once you execute this command, it will actually show you how to set this configuration file, but I'm still providing that command in here. Command number 8 shows you how to set this Kubernetes configuration file. Now, there is a little bit of difference between Windows and other OS, because while the path is largely the same, the first word in the command is different. The Mac and Unix systems usually use export, while Windows is using set. But like I said, it will show you which command to execute once you download the cluster configuration files. Our next goal is to push our container to the container registry. In order to do that, we need to log into IBM Cloud Container Registry as shown in command 9, because container registry is a whole world of its own in terms of commands. You create a namespace for your containers, which is sort of a group of containers based on their functionality. You can group them in any way you like, but we need to provide a namespace. The next step is to build that container within the container registry. So you type a command, command number 11, IBM Cloud CR build, where you provide the domain name, the namespace, and the container name. Finally, you let loose the Kubernetes command line. In echelon command number 12, you provide the path to your container, and you run it. In command number 13, we expose the container to the public. We create sort of a service out of it. And commands 14 and 15 are just final touches. You don't actually do anything with your container, you just get information. By using commands number 15, you respectively get your container's public IP address, and you get the port of your container. And what you should have in the end is a publicly accessible container to the entire world. Something like this. This is the application that you have. And it's an application that uses an open movie database, and you can type the movie or the name of any movie, and it will give you its director, synopsis, leading actors, date when it was released. Yeah, you can see it on the screen, and the amount of movies is big. I don't. There wasn't a time when I was unable to find a movie using this application. And that pretty much concludes my demo. However, the containers and Kubernetes learning path does not stop here. It's a small but growing learning path in the IBM Digital Nation. We have 3 courses on this topic in the Innovator section: Deploy a First Container, Build and Deploy a Movie Database Application Container, and host your own Kubernetes and host your own WordPress site on a Kubernetes cluster. The first and the second course served as the basis for this course. The third one teaches you how to handle multiple containers. Finally, a new color course called Docker Essentials: Extend Your Apps with Containers is part of a cloud application developer learning path, but it dives deep into Docker and its capabilities. And this concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, please ask them now. You have the floor fully to you. You can ask them in the chat. You can unmute yourselves. All right, it seems that there are no questions. As some last notes, I'm going to provide you with some links. Navigate to the link that you see on the screen, or that is right now in the chat, to walk through the webinar demo material on IBM Digital Nation platform. You can see the detailed steps, you can see the screenshots, and you can complete associated quiz and earn a badge. You can access more courses on different emerging technologies on digitalnationafrica.com, and for almost every course, we provide a badge. You can also sign up for a Startup with IBM program to put your startup on the path to transformative growth. And finally, don't forget to join our IBM Digital Nation Facebook group. Thank you very much for listening to this webinar. You can contact me via the email that you see on the screen, and we look forward to seeing you on our future webinars. I believe the next one is the last one.
Okay, thank you so much, German.
Actually, we have a question from Tarek in the chat.
Yes, can you please answer his question?
Yes.
He's asking how to IBM Cloud and learning data science.
Yeah, Tarek is asking about learning data science in IBM Cloud. IBM Cloud provides several tools for data science and analytics. The most major tool is IBM Watson Studio, and we have the courses on IBM Digital Nation in Explorer, Innovator, and New Color learning paths that teach you data science. We can provide you with some links to get started. Wurud, can you please assist? Or
I'm preparing the links on the chat, so you can start from this course, which is from the Explorer journey, and then you can also take this innovator course, which takes you in depth of in-depth and gives you like hands-on experience with the IBM Cloud Data Science or Watson Studio. So let me just prepare the link.
Jafar is asking if we can get a recorded video. Yes, you can, Jafar. Yeah, we will make the recording of this webinar available shortly in the upcoming days.
Okay, so just to like answer Tarek, I have just sent the link. Explorer will give you a brief introduction on what is data science and how it was used to overcome some challenges and some solutions and some problems in the market, and how could IBM Cloud or data science tools help overcome this challenge. That's first. And then with the other link, it's an innovator course which will give you experience on a practical experience, hands-on experience on Watson Studio, which is the main tool for data science. So from that course on Innovator, you can continue on your learning journey. There are a lot of courses, other courses that can give you hands-on experience as well as you go. If you go from this course, you will see from the next step on the same course, you can go to other courses as well in data science. And Jafar, just replying to Jafar, we continuously make these webinars available with their presentations and recordings. You can check the previous ones on this link that I have just shared on the chat. And for this one, we will make it available in like a couple of days. We'll just make sure that the recording is good. There is like nothing wrong with the recording, and the presentation is up and is just ready, and we will have it uploaded on this folder. So I would advise you to continuously check that folder and see what are the new webinar recordings and presentations that are uploaded there. But all of the previous ones are uploaded here. I just want from you guys to do this quick survey. I would really appreciate it if you can do it. It will take only 2 minutes from your time. So if you fill the survey with your like recommendations, ways to enhance these webinars, what other topics that you might want to prepare to know more about. As you know, on Monday, next Monday, we will have our last webinar in this webinar series. So it will be really useful to us to know what you guys think about this webinar series and what are the ways that we can enhance it and what are the topics that you might want to recommend. So, and as the last thing that I want to share today is the Facebook group. So that's our main Facebook group. You can go and join it, and maybe check all of the updates that we have on the platform, all the great news that we always post about the platform. So if you have any questions regarding these or regarding anything else on the platform itself, not regarding the webinars, but like anything on mind you have, just please share it on the chat or unmute yourself and just speak. I hope this topic was helpful for you, and thank you so much, German, for walking us through this presentation. And thank you all for joining today. If you have any questions regarding the containers, Kubernetes, or anything else regarding the platform, just send an email to German, which is showing on the screen, or send it to me on my email, which I'm gonna send right now on the chat. So feel free to talk to me anytime. And thank you all for joining today. And don't forget to join our last webinar on Monday, which is how to build your first IoT application, Internet of Things application. So we'll meet you all there. And have a nice day, all of you.
Thanks, everyone.
Enjoy your weekend, guys. Bye. See you.